Good morning, everybody. Mark Finan here in the home weather office on this Monday morning. It's the 24th day of April, 2023. This is the morning briefing, and yeah, what a week we have coming up with sunny and warm weather. Had a great weekend, and this pattern is going to continue for a while. It should even get warmer later on this week. We'll talk about that. And our forecast at KCRA is calling for perhaps the first 90s of the season, perhaps by later this week, Thursday or Friday. But the next couple of days is still going to be quite comfortable and quite nice. So let me show you what's happening this morning. A couple of high clouds in the area. The snowpack still looks really good, although it is melting, and that's going to be an issue we'll have to keep an eye on this week. The marine layer, rather thick in Southern California, as you often see, but through Northern California, we just have some of the marine layer into areas like Salinas and other inland valleys, but really not much in the way of a marine layer along the Bay Area. So even with a light onshore breeze today, we aren't going to see that much cooling. Temperatures are still going to be quite warm. So let's focus on the temperatures, because this is one of the things we look at to indicate whether it's the temperatures are going to get warmer or cooler. A lot of it depends on wind direction, but the temperatures aloft really dictate what you're going to see down at the surface. And by aloft, I mean at 5,000 feet. It's just one of the markers we use, if you will. So right now, I just kind of use the I-80 corridor as a benchmark. So as I scroll over this, you can see that this afternoon, the temperatures at 5,000 feet are going to be around 12 or 13 degrees Celsius. All right. Now into the day tomorrow. By tomorrow afternoon, that temperature, instead of being around 12 or 13, is up around 15 or 16. All right. So warming by a few degrees. Then we get into Wednesday afternoon, and those temperatures are around 15, 16. So it warms up on Tuesday, Wednesday, then levels off a little bit. And then as we get into Thursday afternoon, this is when we may see our first 90 of the season. That temperature is up around 17, and by Friday we could see temperatures as high as 18 or 19 by the weekend. So that's why we are forecasting temperatures that could be as high as 90 degrees Fahrenheit down at the surface. But it really depends on how much north wind you get or any sort of an onshore breeze. So let's take a look at the overall big picture here, and I'll show you what's happening. Let me get my face off of here so that we can see what we're looking at. All right, so this is the 500 millibar chart. And as I said, there's a little weather system going by to the north today, and that's why temperatures will run slightly lower. But then the big ridge builds in. So this is getting into the day on Thursday, this is Friday, and then this is next weekend. Weather system out here going by to the north just kind of makes a small dent in the ridge. So next weekend still looks like it's going to be sunny and warm if you have any outdoor plans for next weekend. But then beyond that, starting early next week, another trough comes our way. And while right now the models are indicating this would be a dry transition to some cooler weather, we would see some cooler weather for next week. So just because we're going to be in the 80s and maybe 90s this week doesn't mean that we're going to be there forever. And this is getting way out there. This is I don't trust this, but it shows a deep trough, and this would bring some rain, and this would be the following weekend. This would be May 5, 6, 7, something like that. So so the point here is that just because we are seeing some warmer weather this week doesn't mean it's a straight line from here to June with nothing but warm weather. But with the warm weather this week, there is something we got to keep an eye on, and that is our area rivers. So with that in mind, let me show you the Merced River. This is the Merced River in Yosemite, and this is just a good example of what's going to happen this week. The black line here is where we stand right now, and let me scroll up a little bit so you can get the idea of the dates here. And so this is the result of the snow melt every day, and then the cooling at night, snow melt during the day, and so that's the way the snow melt is reflected on the Merced River in Yosemite. So today, Monday, it peaks at 8.1. The next day, it peaks at 8.7. Next day, 9.2, 9.9. And then by the time we get into Friday, it's at 10.5 feet. That is above flood stage. That red line right there, that is flood stage. And at flood stage, the campgrounds are closed. Some campgrounds are closed, not all. Some campgrounds are closed. And they say that this puts the water right to the bottom of Swinging Bridge. If you've been to Swinging Bridge, you know it quite well. And this, with the warm weather continuing into the weekend, we'll likely see more of this. I mean, so, and the indication here is that you're seeing higher lows and higher highs. Something you'd like to see on a stock chart. And then up here, I find this to be very interesting. So this is what they're basing their forecast on, and this is snowmelt every 6 hours. So for instance, 0.17 inches, 0.29, 0.26. And if you look at this over the course of a 24-hour period, if you add up these 6-hour periods, they come out to anything between 3/4 of an inch to more than an inch, especially by Friday. So what that means is that in Yosemite, while it's going to be sunny and dry and warm this week, the river is getting the impact as if Yosemite is getting 3/4 of an inch to an inch of rain every day for the next 5 days and more. And that's why the river is going to rise rather steadily. So we'll also see an issue on both forks of the Carson River this week. Nothing yet on the Walker River, but that's another one to keep an eye on. The Truckee River, however, I did a look at that forecast, and the Truckee River looks like it's going to be just fine this week. But yeah, snowmelt is going to become an issue this week with the warmer weather, and that's one of the things we'll have to keep an eye on. So other than that, it is going to be sunny and warm this week, a beautiful week to be outside. A little warm in the afternoon, but we've gotten rid of the cold weather. Doesn't mean we're going to be not seeing more cool weather, but I don't think we're going to be seeing anything more with daytime highs in the 50s and 60s. I think that is behind us. I think cool days now produce daytime highs in the 70s. So that's all I've got for you for today. Make it a great Monday. I'll be on KCRA tonight at 4, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 11. Make it a great day. I'll talk to you later.